My name is Rhea Gupta, and today I'll be talking to you guys about workplace burnout, which is currently a worrying reality. So, a bit about myself. I'm currently a rising senior from Johns Hopkins High School in Edison, New Jersey. I love to play basketball. I've been playing since I was about 8 years old. I love to volunteer in my free time and binge a Netflix show when I can. Right now, I'm rewatching The Flash. I love to study science, and I hope one day to have a career in medicine. Currently, I've been spending my time at Weill Cornell Medicine, working and learning about breast cancer in their labs. And much of my knowledge that I've gained about burnout in this presentation has come from being an intern at the Resiliency Program, which was basically developed to help companies avoid and heal burnout. So in 2019, the World Health Organization declared burnout an occupational phenomenon in the 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases. Burnout is more than just feeling tired. It's an emotional, mental, and physical reaction to constant stress. Yerkes, Dodson law states that performance increases with physiological and mental stress, but only to a point. So if you look at the graph at the right, you can see that if an individual is too calm, then that may result in less motivation and a decreased performance. If an individual is too stressed out, that could lead to burnout and also a decreased performance. However, if an individual is just stressed enough, they are focused, they are energized, and have just the right amount of motivation to help them reach an optimal performance. Now, some symptoms of burnout include a physical symptom, which could be feeling more tired or a change in appetite. Maybe you're not eating as much as you used to. 2, an emotional symptom, feeling doubt for yourself, feeling less motivation or having a negative outlook on your work, on your boss. A behavioral symptom could be an increased isolation, if you're staying in your room more and not talking to people much. So, how worldwide spread really is burnout? Well, only about 13% of employees are currently engaged. That means they are loyal, they are productive, and have a high retention. 63% are not engaged. They lack motivation and they don't have much loyalty. If another company came along and said, hey, we can give you $100 more in your salary, they would probably take it. Even if they're happy with the amount of work they're getting, they lack the motivation to stay with their current company. 24% are actively disengaged. They are getting too much work to cope with, and that leads to them being unhappy and therefore unproductive. So when it comes to resiliency, there are 4 fundamental factors as studied by Dr. Stephen Zodkoy, who is a certified chiropractor, a nutritionist, and a kinesiologist. 1 is enthusiasm, which is basically the excitement that you feel for your work and your life. 2 is fatigue, the amount of physical or emotional energy that your work may provide or take from you. 3 is motivation, which is your drive to do a good job no matter what comes in your way. 4 is negativity, which is the loss of confidence in your work and life choices. So an increase in enthusiasm and motivation while having a decrease in fatigue and negativity would lead to being a resilient person. And this slide just reiterates that idea. So if you do think that you are burnt out, there are steps that you can take to combating it or reducing it at the very least. 1 is early recognition. Noticing that you have a problem early on and you want to help it, then you can address it and come to the solution. 2 are supplements. Supplements provide nutrients and vitamins that also produce mood-boosting hormones, such as serotonin, which is known as the feel-good hormone. 3 is to exercise. If you go out and keep your body healthy, it can help it recover from a mental exhaustion. 4 is a well-balanced and healthy diet. If you're keeping your body healthy and you're eating right, it helps you maintain a good health and to boost brain power. 5, daily enjoyable timeouts. Taking a break from work to go and do something you love, whether it's shopping or watching TV or doing a sport, anything, it would help you take your mind off work and promote relaxation. 6, build a support system, whether that's your family or your friends or your coworker. All of them can provide comfort because if you're stressed and you need somebody to turn to or talk to, then they would be there. So, as much as burnout affects employees, it can also cost organizations big, and mainly in a monetary value. If employees are burnt out, it can lead to a decreased employee engagement and therefore a decreased productivity, increased work injuries, increased absenteeism, and increased employee attrition. And overall, with all of this, Harvard researchers have estimated that burnout costs up to $190 billion every year. And burnout also costs employers about 34% of their employees' annual salary. That's a large loss in money and productivity. So if an organization sees that their employees are burnt out, there are policies that they can reevaluate in their company to help boost a better environment. They can reevaluate their autonomy and control, their equality and fairness, their satisfaction and reward, goals and values, team culture, assignments and workloads, and even their remote work policy. With all of this together, if they get it to be the best that it can be, it provides a good work environment and therefore more productivity and more motivation for their employees. Now, there are steps that they can also take, one being anticipate and acknowledge reality. Know the plan and know the timeline, communicate to the employees, and acknowledge that there could be fear and there could be stress. 2, stay involved and keep it personal. Making a personal touch with employees is the foundation for a sustainable culture. 3, communicate. Take the time to listen to your employees. It's always a two-way street. 4, reassert your organization's moral purpose. Organizations that have a good sense of their moral purpose are always the ones that best cope with trauma and change. Always remember the 3 C's: control, commitment, and challenge. Separate what can be controlled from what can't, and always focus on what employees can control. 6, encourage and reward innovation and creative problem thinking. Encourage out-of-the-box thinking. If employees get rewards, then it increases their motivation and increases their productivity. 7, maintain an external focus. Things are always going to happen outside of work, and that could affect employees. And during those times, it's so important to reach out and to strengthen those relationships with your clients, your customers, and your employees. So overall, I really would like to reiterate the idea that burnout is constantly increasing, especially after the pandemic, especially after being at home for 2 years. It has really affected so many people and so many companies in a negative way. It needs to be helped, and it's an urgent issue that could be helped. So, yeah. And I would like to thank Ms. Rhea Gupta and Dr. Stephen Zodpour for teaching me so much about burnout and helping me through this and helping me get some of the information that I put in this presentation for you. So thank you. That's my contact. Thank you for listening.